Hey, howdy and happy day, Canada. There's a lot going on in Canada every day. Look at the Trump thing going on. They threaten us. He threatens us every day. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You'll have a pause, but there's no pause. Then he jumps back in a couple of days later for something else. What's going on with him? He's kind of like Napoleon. I don't know. None of this was in his election campaign. All of a sudden he wants to take over Canada and the Panama Canal and Greenland and Gaza Strip. And Gaza Strip's kind of interesting because he is a real estate developer and he now wants to develop the Gaza Strip. What the heck is happening? Canada, leave us alone maybe. Come and talk to us nice, Trump. But instead you threaten every day. Does it make sense? Tariffs? It might. I don't know. I'm not an economist, but treat us better. Just saying. Where it ends up is another thing, I guess. But it's just every day you wake up and there's something else, another missile coming at us, eh? Just saying. Speaking of Canada and missiles, here's a missile that went to a famous singer, Canadian singer, Buffy St. Marie. She's like 83 years old. Who knew? And she has the Order of Canada, which of course is the highest award given to any Canadian civilian for their contributions to the country. My mother, Jean Perry, she got one of them many years ago. In any event, she's now, Buffy St. Marie, has had it taken away from her because they say you lied, you said you're an Indian, and we discovered, of course, that you're not an Indian. That's kind of sad. Buffy, she even won an Academy Award for co-producing or co-writing a song, Where We Belong, quite a few years ago. But, you know, swing over to British Columbia. I think every square inch of British Columbia has been given to the Indians. They now have titles underneath your title. If you own a house and you have a title, don't get too cocky because underneath there's another title that the Indians own. Can this be right? Apparently it is. Wow. Pretty soon in British Columbia, all us white folks will be saying, I'm an Indian. We're all going to do that so we can participate or partake in the profits of the nation, just saying. Now, I got more on Trump here, but I won't bother because I think we're all kind of trumped out. Everybody gets it. We all know what's going on. What do we do with it? We need leadership, strong leadership to work with this country. This country, of course, being the United States of America. We just need somebody to stand up and man up. Instead, we have our politicians in Canada now that are kind of using some wordage of man talk. And they're girly men. How can they stand up to a guy like Trump? Not well. We need leadership. We need a conservative government. Get a person on that, will you? Because it's time. Now, here's a typical Canadian thing. In response to Trump's threats, you have the Canada's National Public Sector Workers Union. It's calling on the feds to forcibly nationalize all the companies in Canada that say they're going to go to the U.S. because taxes are far less and there's no red tape compared to Canada at least. And so let's nationalize them so they can't leave. Okay. Free enterprise is best. That's the difference between Canada and the United States. The United States is a capitalist system and Canada is the opposite of that. It's a socialist system. You have crazy people like this making stupid statements like this, and then they wonder why we have the problems that we have. They wonder why Canadian companies are leaving the country. Because you can't work in a socialist environment. It's too hard. It's too hard. There's no freedom, certainly no individual freedom, but corporate freedom, there's corporate welfare, but it's not very nice. I mean, the C.U.P.E wants the government to seize control. I could say it again and again, and it would be just as upsetting. Freeland. Keeping up here, Canada, Freeland, she's doing her campaign so she can become the leader of the Liberal Party and the Prime Minister, and she's been part of the problem. Government is the problem in most places, but particularly in Canada. But Freeland, she comes out with some statements that amaze me. She says, I'm going to put a cap on grocery profits. They make too much money. I want to expand competition. Let's analyze that. Why would you expand competition? I don't want to go in the grocery business because you just told me that there's a cap on what I can do. My efforts won't contribute to my earnings. That's what you just said, Freeland. I'm going to cause more competition. Talk about doublespeak, right? More competition because I'm going to cap what you can make. I'm going to cap the profit margins to begin with on eggs, milk, vegetables, and baby formula. Where does that come from? Baby formula. I mean, she's a politician in Canada. I mean, maybe it is time to go to another country. We need, in Canada, of course, we need to clean it up. We need to clean it up ourselves. But if it can't get cleaned up, let's do something else. You know, Trudeau, he's so upset. He's trying to do some man talk again, and it doesn't fit very well. But he's trying to do this 51 state pushback talk. Why? I mean, he has said repeatedly that Canada has no core identity, no, we're not mainstream. We don't know who we are. You know, he doesn't like Christians. He doesn't like white people. And he's worried about becoming a 51 state. He's not qualified to talk about any of that stuff. You know the prime mistake? That's Trudeau. There's too much fruit in his salad, I think. Hey, y'all come back. We'll have more to talk about Canada because, oh, Canada, we want Canada to be great. And how can it be great? Like anything, business, country, a home. You need some leadership. You need some leadership. You also need to listen to all the people that are around you, but you need leadership. In Canada, it just doesn't have that. Will it get it coming up with this liberal thing that's going on? No, you're going to get more of the same, maybe worse. They might look nicer, but it's the same old, same old. You're going to have 3 prime ministers, hopefully, over the course of the next 3 months. And that's not a good platform to negotiate from. So let's get it done, settle everything down, and then go see the Trumpster and kind of get everything handled. Running a country is like running a business, or it should be. Canada hasn't been, and that's bad business. So we're looking forward to kind of getting everything happening from the right, because politically, right is right. Left isn't. Left is wrong. Hey, y'all come back. See ya.